What's up?
What's up?
What y'all doing? I'm gonna try this again. We did one of these a month and a half ago, and it got lost. And I feel like we've done another episode that got lost. And that was just due to some, shoddy production value.
We've done 12 episodes.
Yes.
10 of them we've aired.
Right.
So that's where we're at right
One
now.
day we're going to take everything that we've lost and compile it into a lost episode.
That's gonna
I already told Josh we're going to do that. So
and
that's
I'm
the
saying,
plan.
and it's crazy too because it was always those episodes were like, okay, what did I say? I don't remember what I said,
like,
but I know it was.
I don't know. Maybe they're lost for a reason.
That's what. Because you and I were talking about
my future political career. Or
you and I were talking about medications that we had just gotten off, and Cheryl was like, "Yeah, y'all pretty much you told a lot about your personal medical histories."
Hey, fuck it, man.
Well, maybe it's supposed to be lost. So, but no, man, it's been it feels like it's been a long.
It's been a long 2 months or however long it's been since
the
last time we did one of these.
I've got a new grandson. I got the flu.
Oh man,
we already talked about that. June. It's because you never go outside and sweat.
Yeah, I don't sweat now. Yeah, I stay inside.
Your body thinks it's winter.
Yeah, my body's like,
nah, I'm fucking with you, dude.
I'm not on a roof like I should be.
You probably weren't drinking enough tequila to combat.
That's immediately what he said.
And I will say that. I will say that because I kind of curbed my drinking. Kind of just backed it down a little bit, and because I found like sometimes I get home and it would be it's a stimulant for me. It's a stimulant. It's like I get more stuff done when I drink tequila, but then it was like, well, I'll just I want to go to bed and I feel kind of tired, and then like my body, and I actually feel like one of those dang Instagram, YouTube men's vitamins commercials. Like right here, is your T low? Is your sex drive low? Do you have trouble getting out of bed? I'm like, yes, and take this miracle drug. But it was, I turned 50 and I was fine, cool as all, and I don't know, maybe it's psychosomatic. It's probably psychosomatic, but it was like, I felt like that Price is Right yodeler, like, and then you get to the very top and you went too far, you just crashed. That's kind of like me, like, yeah, it's all good. And then exponentially just, and I don't know what it is. But I'm taking vitamins, I'm taking, B12, and I'm taking iron. But see, I have thalassemia, so I have a blood disorder. So I have to take supplements because I have low iron.
Yeah.
And there's two different types of thalassemia, a beta and an alpha or something. I've got the one that's non-lethal or the one that it's not bad. It's just not good. So, but I'm always like, feel tired and stuff like that. So.
Dang, more tequila.
I feel like it's just a lack of tequila. That's what it sounds like.
And you're probably right. So,
well, we have a few.
Our cups are empty.
That's right. We're talking, and now it's not good. Okay, so what I brought. So last time we went, we had our thing. I brought this Gonzalez brand, and I know it's a zero additive brand, and I brought the Reposado, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So today, in honor of you, because I know you like it, I brought the Cristalino.
Hell yeah.
This was about $80. The Reposado was about $40. So hopefully this tastes twice as good. But that's what I brought.
Okay. I have a Lunazol, but I found this El Humoso, which is it's a smoked Blanco. So I know it's not going to be a mezcal, and hopefully it's not going to taste like a mezcal. I feel like it's just going to be a little bit smoky, a little hint of smoke. We'll see. Yeah. And then I have the Husong's, the Platinum, which we haven't had it. I don't think.
Platinum. We haven't had the Platinum.
Have you had it? No. Well, so we haven't had it on the show. We definitely
had the brand on the show.
Right, but we haven't had the Platinum. So this is a Nejo, I believe. And shout out to Cuban Liquor. They hooked us up with those two. And then, Jose, what do you have?
It's called Partida. It's just something I've been seeing on the internet, kind of a lot of people drinking, so I kind of wanted to check it out. Of course, additive-free tequila, which I know that's kind of a thing we've been on here lately with that kind of stuff, so it'd be interesting to try.
Well, when I was looking at the NOM numbers, this brand right here, the distillery only makes this brand.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a million different brands.
Which is crazy because normally that doesn't happen. And I've had that actually, I've had this brand a few times. I've had it out too because some places are using it for a well, and that's a really good well in my opinion.
It's got a blue label, blue and black label also, right?
Yeah, that's the regular Blanco.
So I just realized when I saw that label in that bottle, I was like, I've seen this tequila somewhere before. One of the food vendors for my birthday last year gifted me their reposado, and I just remember that I've never touched it. So it's in the fridge at the 7 Tap. So I'll have to.
It's good, but I haven't. Yeah. I've only had their Blanco. I haven't had their Añejo, their Reposado. It's a new brand in the market. I say new. It's been around for like a year or so. But actually, it's funny because there for a while I was hitting. Well, yeah, we'll start with it. There for a while I was hitting some tequila places up, and I was like, "Hey, man, you want to sponsor? You know, blah blah." And they were like, "Oh no, we're not looking for anyone." And this was the first one to shut me down. But I like their stuff, so I'm just keep drinking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what it's about. But I will say this. So it's just a smoked one, which is uses cooked mesquite wood smoked agave alongside fresh Weber Blue agave, creating one-of-a-kind smoked Blanco tequila. Smoke expression marries the subtle herbal roots and chili pepper hints among the beautiful, bright fruitiness of Blanco tequila. So I figured, like I'm always barbecuing, so let's smoke some tequila, whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm just gonna do a little bit because I'm kind of scared of it.
A little hesitant on that one.
Yeah.
Well, it already doesn't smell like mezcal, so
I like mesquite.
I'm okay with that.
I like mesquite. I like the smell of burning mesquite, but mesquite always smells dirty to me. It smells like dirt when it's smoking, but I like it.
I don't use mesquite for barbecue.
Oh wow, you
scared of it? It's not mezcal. Definitely not.
Mezcal.
Does it taste like it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. God damn it.
Not as bad.
Not near as near as
so
bad.
I'll say this about. So I talked to somebody that's a mezcal guy, and I'll say this: it's still not my cup of tea to drink straight. I prefer it in a cocktail if I am going to drink it. He was telling me, if you drink a mezcal that tastes smoky to you, that is a bad mezcal.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
They all taste smoky to me.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so but. Remember, I said I was kind of against the mezcal thing because I was like, I don't think our palates are there yet.
Yeah.
People that are into the mezcal, they can discern roastiness or like a roasted from like a smoky. Whereas our palate might not be there yet. Again, I'd like to dabble into it right now. Right now, I'm still.
But you know what? I do agree with that because I do taste a lot of, like when we taste tequilas, and we had talked about all the tequilas that we've done.
Of you right now.
Okay, yeah. So last night,
I'm so proud of you right
last night I went through our past episodes and I wrote down all of the tequilas we tried, and I realized that our palates have changed and that we can taste different things now versus the first time we did it. So on the first episode we had, it was just you and me. We had the Volcán de mi Tierra, the Cristalino. We had the bad stuff. That was that small bottle.
Oh,
remember that bad stuff? It was called the bad stuff because it was like $250.
No, that was a good one. Yeah,
it was $280 for a bottle like this size. The tequila El Distilado, that was like the black one that you had. That was it was really nice. And then Red Eye Willie's Whiskeyla.
Horrible.
You remember that?
I still have that bottle.
You remember that?
I won't touch it. I won't touch it ever again.
And then the second episode was first one with Jose. We did the 1800 Añejo, the Danos Dangerous, the Don Roberto Añejo Extra that I bought that was in the blue bottle. That was really good. The G4 and then Tears.
That was the first one.
Okay, we need to have a different bottle because this I can taste it. Do you taste it?
Yeah.
On your thing.
Yeah. Let's just roll with something else.
Let's do the Jose.
But yeah. So when you're talking about palates and like that stuff, we can kind of pick out these flavors. I was talking to another guy, my friend Todd, who's a bourbon guy, and he told me to try a bourbon. And all I could taste was just fire.
Really?
Like just fire. And he's like, no, I'm getting this, I'm getting this, I'm getting this. And I was like, I'm not getting none of that, dude. I get fire.
Really?
And he's like, well, because your palate's not adjusted to be able to discern those flavors at that proof. So it was interesting what he did. He poured a little water in it, and then he let me try it. And he's like, now do you pick up this, and that? And I was like, yeah, I actually do.
Well, that makes sense because when people we were doing grilling on Maine and we were cooking a hog all night, and a buddy of Brian's he had some expensive bourbon, excuse me, and he brought it over and it just tasted like any other bourbon to me.
Right.
But exactly. had my palate been there, I probably would have tasted what he's talking about. Yeah.
Caramel.
This is gonna be a Cristalino, right? Yeah.
It's a Cristalino from an Añejo though, not an extra Añejo. but it's very.
Oh yeah, Ooh, that's good.
You taste the caramel?
So good. Yeah.
I taste a lot of caramel in that. That is so nice.
So which one did we have before? It was the Reposado.
We had the Reposado.
Similar bottle though, right?
Similar bottle, yeah. They have the silver bottle, which is the crystal. I mean, which is the blanco, and then they have like a blue bottle, which is the Reposado, and then they have another color bottle,
They have
which
a
is
gray.
the extra añejo.
They have a gray.
Yeah, the añejo and then extra añejo, and then this one.
That's so good.
But I love the bottle itself too. It's always like an
Yeah.
old Mexican wino bottle. But so on episode 3 we did the Arret Reposado, the Sol y Luna, the Llena de Mexico, the Tale of Mexico or Legend of Mexico, the Reposado, the La Gritoña, which was that one in a hand-blown glass with the little clasp that was owned by the women.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll say this about that tequila. You know, we had it. It was fantastic. It was really good. But if you keep up with a lot, like I still every once in a while I'll dabble in those groups just to see what's going on. I don't agree with those, but that thing. But even in like professional like review sites, that tequila has caught fire. Like people are like, this is one of the tequilas right now.
I liked it.
I'd love to revisit it. And it was like the only female owned distillery,
only
all
female. Yeah, it was hand-blown glass bottles,
Yeah.
so none of them, they were all unique.
Yeah.
And then we did the El Tesoro Extra Añejo, which was amazing. The Octanom Selection 1414
Yeah.
that you brought,
Yeah.
which was really good. And then the Clase Azul, the ding, the sugar bottle.
Yeah.
We did that one. And then episode 4 was the Terramana Añejo, which I thought was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good. And then we did the Mezcal.
Yeah.
We did the Malbien and the Maguey. And then we did the Tapatio Añejo, which was good. The Corazon Reposado. And that was the one, that was aged in the Weller's barrels.
Yeah.
So like the
that
select
one's
one, that was good. And then episode 5 was the first Lost episode.
Okay.
And that was I do remember I had Fortaleza Blanco. I brought that. And then you had brought some Tres Generaciones
Yeah.
to that. Because the following episode, and the only reason I knew that is because we mentioned it on the following episode. And then on episode 5.1, which was our first episode in the studio. It was the first episode in this studio. And then, or at least first aired episode in the studio. We had the Fortaleza Reposado, the 1800 Cristalino, the Casa Dragones that you got the great deal on.
Yeah.
You know, I saw that the bottle which was I guess their lowest tier. I saw it the other day. It was like $70, which it was crazy because at the time I was like, I'll pay $70 for this, thinking I'm getting the lower tier Casa Dragones, and now that I've tried the higher one, I was like, I'm not paying $70. At the time I was like, yeah, it's cool, but like now I'm like, nah, I'm not.
I'm not gonna go back to that.
Yeah.
And then we tried the Tres Generaciones again.
Yeah.
For that, and that was after they had changed the bottle, because I always remember the bottle being like that, and then the bottle was like now round like that. And then episode 6 we did the Jose Cuervo Extra Añejo that I got for like $20.
Yeah, but I don't think it was good, was it?
It wasn't bad.
What? No, that was a different one. Never mind. Go ahead. Yeah.
It was a $20 bottle. We did the Jose's Añejo, the Camareña Añejo, the Coralejo Añejo, the red bottle that I never tried before, which was really good, and then the Caramino Cristalino.
Yes,
Yeah,
and we didn't realize that was Kevin Hart's
we didn't
brand.
realize
When at the time, we just grabbed it, and
Yeah.
it was delicious. Yeah.
Yep. And then episode 7, and I was going through this going, man, we've tried a lot of tequila. You weren't here that episode. So it was just me and you. And then so we had members. We had the Members Mark Reposado.
Oh yeah, I forgot to get that.
Yeah. The Centenario Añejo, the El Reformador Reposado, and the Cenote Cristalino, which was really good.
Yes.
The Cenote was really good. And then we went down to my birthday party and got
Hammer drunk.
Super hammer
drunk. Hammer drunk.
That was a great.
That was a long night for me. That was a long night for me. I've not been that drunk since. That was bad.
And then episode 8, I gave you that Metallica blackened whiskey, which was really good. We liked that. The Lalo.
Lalo.
We tried the
It's my favorite. Dude,
You like the Lalo?
I don't know what it is about Lalo. Like I tell people, get Lalo.
I saw that today too.
Yeah, it's like
I knew
a
it.
special place. I don't know why. I just
What blend was that though? What do we?
It was just their
And I
Blanco.
think they only have a Blanco at this point.
Yeah, because I think they do because it's a newer. Yeah, because that's all I bought off I saw
Right.
today. Yeah.
But I did see some posts about it online.
Yeah.
About the Lalo. People like trying it. Like it's really good. And then the Casa Maestro, the Blanco, the tall red carved bottle, the really nice bottle. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And then we did the Don Ramon Reposado, It wasn't good at all. I think I actually wrote on here not good. It was the one that the bottom was square and the top was round.
And we thought it was gonna be really
Remember,
good.
it was like
yeah.
really cool. It had this like really neat little thing, but we tried it and we're like, and then the Volcán de mi Tierra, the Reposado, we tried that. It was decent. And then episode 9 was with Josh, and we did the Jose Cuervo Cristalino, the Tierra Nobel.
That's the what I was talking about there. Jose Cuervo Cristalino wasn't
Yeah,
like
it
I was
wasn't-
so disappointed in it.
Yeah, it wasn't
that's
that
what it was.
good. And then we did the Tierra Noble or Nobel. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And then the Coralejo Extra Añejo, which I really liked. I thought that was really good. And then episode 10, we did the Hornitos, the Añejo. You had the Hornitos
Yeah.
Añejo. And then we did the Gran Centenario Cristalino.
That shit was good.
And then Los Abuelos.
Los Abuelos, yeah.
And then the El Tequileño. And that's where we're at.
So we're
That's
at.
how much we've done.
That was the lost episode. We did that one. Or
No.
we didn't
And
put
then
the
we have
lost
one
ep-
more episode,
So we,
the last
lost
episode.
So we don't
which,
know what we had. I don't even
So
remember
Los
what we had on
Abuelos
that.
was the lost episode?
No.
Okay.
Los Abuelos we actually did. The lost episode was,
most
I know we
recent
had,
lost episode.
the most recent lost episode, I know we had this Gonzalez Reposado,
I don't know what the hell we had.
which was really good.
I know we had that barrel pick
Yeah.
something Nobel or remember
Yes,
the barrel
the
pick.
Dobel,
I
the
had
Maestro
that.
Dobel.
Yes, I had that.
Yeah.
I know we had that because I still have some in the bottle. I've
Yeah.
been babying that.
I should-
But no, this songs is good. And who knew I was getting I didn't even realize when it said platinum. I should have known it was Cristalino, but I didn't realize it. I just was like, oh, we haven't had that one yet, so let's try it.
Yeah. This one's an Añejo Cristalano too.
Okay, I can't believe we've had so many fucking. It doesn't feel
50.
like that. I mean, but when I see them, I'm like, yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've had that in my brain. Like, especially if I go somewhere, like, because me and the wife, if we ever go anywhere, like, I really frequent Mexican restaurants because I enjoy tequila, and you can't get the shit anywhere else.
Struggle with this one.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
I was trying not to.
But yeah, man. So it's like anywhere I go, I try to, I'm like, oh, I've had that, or I'm gonna try this.
So this is Partida. This is their Reposado. So first time trying it for all of us.
Yeah, I've never
I
tried
like
it.
going.
I've seen
from
the
a-
bottle.
I like going from like a hard blanco to
To a Cristalino.
to back to
Yeah.
a reposado because I feel like you can really taste the difference and appreciate it too.
But you know what's funny is even with all the tequila we've drunk, every time I go to some place that's got 500 different selections, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
You know, which one, and I end up asking the people which ones, and they give me recommendations. And by the way, I found out how Cristalino was made.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So I asked the guy. So I asked him about it, and I said, "Okay, so how is it made?" He said, "What they do is after they take it, they have charcoal filters. Okay, they run it between 50 to 70 times through the filter.
One batch.
One batch.
Holy
50
shit, that's a
to
lot.
70. Yeah. Now I've had a saltwater aquarium, and I have had charcoal filters, and you got the water's all brown and dirty, and then it goes through and comes out crystal clear because it picks up all the little additives and things like that. And so they run it through 50 to 70 times to get the crystal clear color. And depending on how clear it is how many times they've run it through. But that's really all they do. They just run it through charcoal filters. But it's a good charcoal filter. It's a high quality. But it's it's probably more like lava rock.
Yeah.
That they run it
It
through.
has to be, yeah.
But I wonder what the purpose is.
Just I think it's just for a. I think it's more of a kitsch. Is that what they call it? It's more like no, not
How
but
does
like
it-
it's like popular. It's like
How
it's
does
a
it?
cool
Yeah,
little.
but how does it bring out those flavors?
That's
Because
what
it
I'm saying.
completely
Like,
changes
is it picking something up through the
It has to.
filtration
because
process?
no, I think
or
it does,
like-
and I think it gets rid of. For me, I think it gets rid of a lot of the sweetness or a lot of the definitely the smokiness.
smoke's
of
gone.
the thing.
Yeah.
It just I think it changes the characteristic of it, and you get more of the actual ferment of it versus the flavor that you get
Right.
that you pull from. But I'm like, well, if that's the case, then why don't you just buy a blanco,
Right.
you know? But obviously, there's parts of the in the barrel when they age it. There's parts of the flavor that don't get diluted. Just basically the color itself gets pulled through. So I guess the best thing to do would be to try an añejo and then an añejo cristalino afterwards and see if you can taste any difference between the two of the exact
exact same batch.
same brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the Partida.
Partida.
This shit is good. Let's talk about it because this shit is good.
Is it good? I haven't
Yes,
tried it
it's
yet.
good. Holy shit, it's good.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a reposado.
Yep.
It's probably one of the best reposados I've ever had. And I'm not gonna lie.
You know what this tastes like to me?
Fucking delicious.
The first time I tried Coralejo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was a young company and not
But I feel
everybody
like
had it.
I feel like it's smoother than Cortalejo. It's good, but
It reminds me of the first time I tasted Coralejo.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I could taste the plant. I could taste the agave versus tasting like sugars, and I didn't even know what sugars were at the time. I just knew I could taste the difference between certain types of tequilas.
yeah.
But this one, I can taste it. Oh, that's nice.
It is
damn
very
good.
It's very good.
What's
Yeah.
the price point on this one?
$50 on the reposado.
What was that?
Which,
This one's gonna be Husong's gonna be around 70.
yeah. Which $50 on the reposado. I mean, $40 on their blanco. You might as well
Yeah.
get the damn reposado.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
at that point.
It's delicious.
But you don't drink it every day.
Makes me
and
want to
that's not
see
one of
what
those-
the Blanco tastes like now
Yeah.
because it's like fuck if the
And
reposado's
me and
that
him,
good.
he looked it up before the show, and I mean, I think they have like some añejos, extra añejos that they do. So
Where'd you get this at?
I got that at Thrifty.
Local. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah. So I saw it there, and I was like, oh, I've been seeing this on stuff. So I was like, screw it, I'll get it here. And
Grant, we got to talk to this dude about going to Thrifty.
I
Supposed
know,
to be
dude,
going to
sorry.
Cuban, bro.
That's right.
Supposed to be going to Cuban, bro.
I bought this in Dallas. So I'm clear.
You're clear. You're out of the SBC.
I'm good.
Sorry, Grant, I'm sorry.
That's right. I did.
No,
I
it is.
didn't-
I've supported Grant a lot over the years.
No, it's
trust
very
me.
good. No, it's
He
very good.
supported me in return. I'll show you that.
No, but it is. It's really good. It has unique for reposado really because reposado
It's a light reposado.
I'm always but I'm always on the fence about getting reposado, right? Because I'm like, if I'm going to buy a reposado, I might as well get an añejo.
Right, right.
And it's always
Repos-
like a 10, like you have a 10, like Uno Dos Tres. They had one of those, like you really do. You have it that where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, this one's 50, this one's 65, this one's 80.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I was like, oh, I get 65, but I might as well spend and get the 80.
Well, it
because-
is that thing too, because if you just want something light and easy drinking, you're gonna go Blanco,
Yeah.
right? But if you're like, okay, I don't want that. I want flavor. A little bit more flavor. I want a little more of this, that.
Yeah.
You think añejos.
Yeah.
Reposado kind of just sits there sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, for this one, it's unique. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Well, that's my favorite type is a reposado. If given the choice, I'll take a reposado every day.
Straight up,
Straight up reposado.
no ice. Just,
No ice, nothing, just in the glass. That's my favorite type of tequila.
Is it because it's just like something like this, mild, but you still get a flavor?
I think so. I think it's not so. It's not like a silver, which is good for mixing stuff. But it's got a hint of flavor from the barrels that it's unique. And every reposado I've tasted is unique. Whereas the añejos, I can kind of like, okay, to me it's not as much uniqueness because they all use like different types of barrels, but they age it so long that you
Yeah.
can really taste the flavors in it
Right,
versus this going, okay, I can kind of taste a hint of this or a hint of that. And so, yeah, if I had a choice of, okay, you can only have one type to drink, that would be it. Just a good.
Tell you what, dude, I'm super like on Blancos right now. Like I want to taste all the
Really?
Blancos. Yeah.
It's just
Why
straight.
is that?
I don't know. I think that's one of the things that I've learned from doing this podcast is that, and like you said, like we've evolved as we've done this together. And like I always say, we are not tequila reviewers,
No.
we're just tequila drinkers, and we give our opinion, right? But like Blancos, like that's one of the, I guess, kind of myths that I've been able to, misspell or,
Right.
denounce myself is that Blancos are made just for mixing or that Blancos don't have any flavor. I think in Blancos sometimes, you get the true distillation process and what the distiller intended a tequila to taste like. So I feel like you get like the true essence of that tequila.
That makes sense. Like
Yeah.
that's their like ground level product,
Right.
and then they'll build upon that.
Exactly.
That makes sense because I mean, if you think about it, every single Blanco you have tastes different,
Right,
and
right.
distinctly different.
Yes.
Because like, if you go get Patron, it distinctly tastes different than if you have 1800,
Right.
versus if you have something like Lunazul
Right.
or
Right.
something like El Humador,
Right.
or Salsa.
Yeah.
They all taste
They all
extremely
do.
different, but
They all
they're
do.
they're all smooth.
Yeah.
You know.
And like some of those kind of that, I think that's what gives it the Blanco a bad name or connotation, or people assume that because some of those Blancos are legitimately meant for that they know you're going to pour it into
Right.
a freaking margarita machine and then that's
Right.
why that
Exactly.
that connotation's there. But I think as we've done this podcast and I've researched more into it, I'm like, and we've had some like like I said, Lalo. I don't know why I love that fucking tequila. Like that shit's good to me. The one we had on the last Lost episode. What was it? Dang, I forget. I brought a Blanco. I forget what it was.
I have no idea. I can't remember. We didn't even take a picture of what we
got
took.
Toasted.
Right.
I have a picture.
Do you have a picture of everything?
I'm gonna pull it up.
Tesoro?
Y'all talk right now. I'm gonna pull it up.
No, because I brought the El Tesoro. No, was it El Tesoro?
Yeah, because I brought a Blanco.
Yeah.
You brought the extra
I brought the
Añejo
extra Añejo.
and I brought the Blanco.
Yeah, you brought the Blanco.
Yeah.
But you know what I like about this one is, and I'm telling you, and I'm guessing figuring out why I like Reposado so much is because you have to search the flavor.
Right.
Whereas like a Blanco is pretty much from the moment you put it on your mouth until you swallow it, it's one single flavor. This right here, when you first bring it in, it's got a certain flavor. When it's on your palate, it's got a flavor. And when you swallow it, it's got a third flavor.
Right,
and
right.
I really like that. I like having the different types of flavors instead of just being like one flavor. Like this to me is just one smoky flavor.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that one I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah.
But another thing with Blancos too, I think what I like about it is it's kind of like I relate to like the beer world also because like, and in that podcast that we did with DJ, we said like the lighter beers are actually harder to do because you can't like mask anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
Good
get
point.
the essence
Yeah.
of it. Whereas like if someone does like a bad tequila, don't get me wrong, it's not going to help it that it's going into a barrel, right?
Right.
But you are able to mask certain things with the yolk.
You're right.
And
You're
all that
right.
Stuff. But when you drink a
point.
Blanco, you're literally drinking the purest form that tequila will ever be.
Right.
So I think that for me, I think Blancos lately have been
Try some more of this.
my
This is
jam.
really good.
I'm trying to find it, man, and I'm looking here, and
I think
I feel
it was
like
that because I took the family to Broken Bow last week and I polished that bottle off.
all right. So this we aired that one. That was in March. So I went too far back.
Yeah.
So we've done one since then.
No, yeah, I think I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, I was at El Tesoro. I remember it was an El
Because I
Tesoro.
brought a Blanco.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
I have
good. I mean,
no
El Tesoro,
idea.
you can't go wrong because it's a zero additive brand.
Right.
Anything you get, like, Fortaleza, El Tesoro, I think Tapatio.
Yeah.
Some of those brands is like, there's, at least on the app, there's brands that's like, there's zero additives.
Dude, and that's another thing we've learned through this because we've had tequilas before where we're like, man, this is, I taste this and it's like additives, and now we know to look for that. Like I want to look for tequila as zero additives, and now even like when friends ask me, I'm like, steer away from celebrity brands for the most part. There is some out there that could be all right depending on what you're doing.
I feel like one we know is good is Terramana.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah, I like the Terramana. I like the extra añejo Terramana.
Yeah. And another one is like try to find something that's like additive free, and now we know that. And I did find out that our Casa Dragones that we love so much has additives.
Does it?
Yeah.
That'll be
Of
damn.
course it does.
Yeah. Of course, because it's tasted so it almost tastes
But
like
here's the
tropical kind of.
Here's the thing, man. Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
you're
you know,
right.
Okay,
like,
no. It is true, but if you drink a lot of it, you're going to be hungover because it's the sugars that cause you to hangover. Versus if you were to drink something with zero additives, you're gonna get high. I mean, you're high. You're gonna get a buzz. You're gonna feel good, but you'll have less of a hangover the following day.
That makes sense. But I mean, the way we drink stuff is we're not sitting here drinking one bottle of something. You know, I guess if we were, then I would worry about it. But
That's amazing.
I still feel like I don't ever want to, like, I love that we taste these without researching them.
Right.
I really do. And then later we can, look back and say, okay, well, this was that and this was that. But like, I do love that this is a raw, like, take on these things.
Right.
And we're not sitting here saying, oh, well, we're walking into this, I know what this has in it, and it has a notes of it. We have reviews of this, and it does that, and it has these additives in it, or this is additive free. Like, it is cool to.
Yeah, and he said we're not in any sense of form experts.
I've been kicked out of every fucking group, so I don't even, y'all keep up with that because like me, I try to share our podcast one time and they kick me out.
It's just like stuff pops up and I'm like, okay, that looks cool.
Well, apparently I've offended everyone.
What's weird is I find it harder to make a selection now.
Yeah.
That we've done
Very
it so much.
hard.
I find
I'm like
it
a fucking kid in a
I'm
candy
like, okay,
store.
I don't know if I want to try. Do I want to try that one? I don't know. Let me look on my app. Let me look.
Well,
I mean, it's become harder and harder for me to
has, it
buy
has.
and try different.
Yeah.
Well, I look and I'm
tequilas.
like, that looks too mainstream.
Yeah.
This looks way too mom and pop, like they're trying too hard. Hold on a minute, and then I'm catch myself. Like I was in the Cuban earlier looking through these, and Grant's like, "Man, get you something good." I'm like, ugh. And I saw that Lunazul. I was like, well, I like Lunazul. We haven't. I don't know if we haven't had it or not. You went through all this, but I don't think we have. And I still haven't seen.
We haven't had Lunazul.
You said you had a Reposado from them, right?
I never tasted it.
But you have
a bottle. I'll bring it.
Yeah, we got to do it on the next one because I feel like it would be good.
Yeah.
But
so before the podcast, you asked me about the baseball game.
No, yeah.
So the Texas Rangers. So we were in Dallas this weekend visiting my son. Cheryl, this is the first time we've been back. Cheryl's been back to Dallas in 4 years. We dropped off Sage to work at Ferrari 4 years ago. But because we had a dog that had cancer, she had a hip revision. We had COVID, all this other stuff. She had never had a chance to go see him. And I was like, I want you to see him. I want you to see how far he's come.
Yeah.
You know, I want you to see where he's at now, from when he first moved there to where where he's living now is like a neighborhood with, you know, the streets are smooth. You know, I wanted her to see that now because I'm so proud of him and I wanted her to see that. So we went to a Rangers ball game, and it's the first time I've been to a ball game inside an enclosed stadium.
Really?
Yes. First time in an enclosed stadium, because we used to go to the ballpark at Arlington all the time.
Right.
Loved it. If I could condense it all into one phrase, the new Globe Life Field is like a giant mall, but instead of a ice rink in the center of it, there's a baseball field in the center of it.
Okay, so you didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Okay, so when did they move there? Like 2 years ago?
They moved there 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay, so when I was in oil and gas, we had box seats at the previous stadium. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't really a baseball fan, but I would go there with clients and we'd hang out, you know, have some drinks and watch baseball. But I enjoyed the environment, but I have not been to the new stadium.
Well, I will tell you this: when it's 95 degrees with 100 degrees,
sure it's nice.
It was much nicer inside to watch a game.
That was the knock on the old stadium. Like I went to the old stadium multiple times, and I can tell you, it was as gorgeous of a ballpark as you would want to watch a baseball game in. But
do you remember the smells when you walked in? The smells that you got? No, not anymore.
But from certain like months, dude, like why? Because you would just literally sit there and just cook.
If it was an afternoon game and you were sitting in the outfield, you were going to bake. You had to sit on the first base side because the sun would shade you.
And I think that was everybody's knock on that. I personally, the second one, the new stadium, I enjoyed it. I mean, you know. It is a little,
you know what it felt like? It felt like watching a concert, but it was a baseball concert.
It is a little mainstream, but I think, you know, all kind of sports venues are moving towards
it. It is, and also we'll say this: they have the top 10 most expensive ballpark tickets. Rangers is like number 5, and I will tell you this: I spent more money going to a ball game. I spent $90 for parking.
Yeah.
$90.
Yeah.
Now I was close enough to walk to the stadium. I didn't have to take a tram or something. And with Cheryl's with her hip and everything, I like to try to park as close as possible. But the parking was expensive. Everything, and there's cashless.
You should just Uber, bro.
No, it's cashless. Nothing in the stadium you can use cash for. Everything is all with your card and everything. Now I will say it was fun. It was neat. But when you walked in, it didn't feel like you were walking into a ballpark. It felt like you were walking into
an arena.
And when you go to a ball game, and you've grown up going to ball games, and it's outside, and yes, I know it's hot, and I know Cheryl and I actually went to the coldest game on record back in April. I think it was like in September or something. They had a game, and Cheryl and I went to many years ago, and it was so cold. All the players had on like earmuffs and gloves and mittens, and we left the game early because it was so cold. It was like 44 degrees in the ballpark. But there's something to be said when you walk into Arlington Stadium, and it's, you know, the old stadium was almost like the Coliseum.
Yeah.
You know, it was John, you had those big openings.
I get what you're saying. You would see like the big beams.
Yeah, you see the beams, and you smell the grilled onions.
And it was very.
Yeah, and this is very antiseptic.
Yeah, you walk in and it's like.
Yeah, and I will say this too. There's
you
not
feel that AC right off the bat.
But I will say this also. It's not as, when you're walking, it's not as wide. And poor Cheryl, she's not very tall, so she's like, I got to get out of this crowd because I can't breathe, because there's not enough space for the people to walk as there used to be. But again, if I was a promoter, obviously, because you're going to get sellout crowds more during the summertime with a stadium that's closed than you are doing. And because this stadium is more compact, it goes like this instead of going like this. It's like whoosh. Now we were in the front row,
just like AT&T.
Yeah, we were in the front row on the second level, so we didn't feel like we were like that. We would just watch the game, we could see it, but it was a really weird type of experience for me. But I enjoyed it. But speaking of baseball, okay, here's I have a question for y'all. Okay, because you have children. My grandson plays t-ball. Okay, they are now giving out championship rings.
Yeah, I've noticed that. They've been doing that for a couple of years now. Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I think it's I don't know, man. Like, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. It's better than we were kids, because when we were kids, everybody got a fucking trophy.
Right.
And I hated that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's cool. But I already know I feel like you're leaning towards, because like, it's like, at what point do they see value in something? I get it.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it's whatever. I think there's other issues with kids than sports.
In sports, no.
Well, and it's more of like, I feel like parents, they just fucking care too much these days.
Yeah. Like
everybody, I feel like they're going out there and they want. There's so many parents out there that think that their kid is going to be the next fucking, Barry Bonds or something, and it's like, and it's created that culture where it's like, it's insane. It's insane.
I'll tell you that my previous guest, that episode hasn't aired, but by the time this one airs, that one would have. We talked about that, and the biggest thing, not this specifically, but we talked about overtraining in children athletics. Where and I feel like I may not have this conversation with you guys, but I've had it with multiple people. Is that when these kids get into these sports at a young age, and like, you have to think about it. When we were in school, and even if Jose and I went to the same high school, we had a very, very, very awesome baseball program.
Yeah.
Let's go. I never made it even to the team. I tried out and I didn't make it. But some of friends of ours were on that team, and those like that at that time, it was like you made the high school team, and then you didn't do anything else. You just focused on high school baseball. Well, now it's like you're playing this league and this league and this league and travel ball and fall ball, and they're starting them out at 8 years old doing this shit. And then if you have someone you're trying to build up as a pitcher or a catcher or a shortstop or a first baseman, they're hurt. They're hurt by the age of 13.
Yeah.
And then they're fucked.
Well,
and like, you're putting all this money and time into this, and then
as a kid, even before you got as a kid, your goal was all-stars.
Yeah,
right?
that was it.
Dude, I remember I busted my ass and I didn't make all-star my first year, and my second year I did. And you know what we got? We got a pin that we stuck on our cap. And that to me was a gold medal because I busted my ass for that pin.
Goal. That was the goal, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now every kid's a fucking all-star.
Oh God, yeah.
Now they're
everybody.
And if your kid's not, if your kid
to come play on our squad,
if your kid's not good enough to play, you can buy your kid a spot on the team. But not only that, I was telling Cheryl, you know what I don't see anymore? I don't see kids playing street ball anymore.
I don't see them playing anything outside anymore.
Right. Yeah. And that, to me, that breaks my heart, because I remember summer times, dude, if you haven't seen the movie Sandlot, which I don't know who hasn't, watch it, because that was what I remember. All summer long, we just played ball, and we became better because not only were we the self-referee, we had ghost runners on first, and it became a love for the game, not a, okay, well, guess what? After piano lessons or after dance, you got to go to travel ball and you got to do this. And also I've noticed that you can kind of, if you're not in Little League, in the actual, Little League thing, you can pretty much dictate how the teams are made. And it turns out, at least from my point of view, watching it, I'm like, they're not teaching these kids principles. All they're teaching the kids is how to run past first base and keep running, because nobody knows how to catch a ball and throw it home. And I'm thinking, it makes me so mad because there's no principles being taught.
Well, it's all about the parent's identity now.
Christina.
Like it is. This Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah, because you know why? Because you got to post your kid 27-0, and they're 8. I'm sorry, 4.
All right, we're gonna have to run a head-to-head match on the who songs in that one, because
wow, that was smooth.
we're gonna have to run a head-to-head on those.
That was so smooth.
I'm gonna have to get me another glass.
What's funny is when we went and we tried. I was with Sage, and the guy had poured me some. I'm like, I don't want to try it because I want to try it on the podcast. So I told Sage. So I smelled it.
Did you tell the guy there you did a podcast?
Yeah. I told him.
Awesome.
I always tell him I do a podcast.
Did you tell him?
And I
tune in?
I tell him I show him my shirt. Look, you see this frequency interrupted? Google it. Okay, that's our thing. Which, by the way, I took off my shirt. So I told Sage, I was like, here, you do it. And he took it. And he's like, ooh, that was really smooth. I like it. It was really good. But
what was this at? Wine and More?
It was Wine and More. Wine and More. Yeah. So, but back to the whole thing is that and you're right. It is about parents, and like I watched. God, I gotta watch what I say because I get too mouthy.
It is what it is.
But I've seen groups of kids play, and I see the parents, and I'm like, okay, every one of those guys played high school ball, maybe college ball, but that's as far as they went. They still look like they're part of it, and they want their kid to do what they couldn't.
Nope.
I coached kids. I coached kids soccer. I coached kids baseball. I've coached so many kids leagues, and to me, it was always like, okay, protect the kid.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem, and that I know I've talked. I guess we haven't talked about it on Tequila Talk, but I've talked about this so many fucking times. That's the problem. Like these people do not feel like they. It's just like the fucking star athlete in high school who has the complex, later in life. It's like they feel like that they didn't achieve whatever accomplishments they wanted to, so they immediately like pressure instill that into the child.
Yeah.
And then the child is like has this like this unachievable goal already. Yeah. Like you're setting them up for failure before they even start, because you're not even letting them determine if that's their passion or not.
Right,
you're making them passionate about it because they feel pressure, thinking that they should do it because you want them to do it and you want them to be proud of you. It's just I hate it, dude. I fucking hate it.
You know what I don't like?
My kids don't do anything.
You know
right
what I
now.
also don't like? I also don't like leagues that have, like, what league is this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the league of kids who couldn't make it, or the parents weren't happy with the rules.
Yeah.
And they decided to create their own league. That pisses me up, because guess what? If you don't play in the Little League, okay, if you don't have a patch that says Little League, you cannot play in the Little League World Series.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, why do you have your own little group of baseball players who are travel ball players, and then once they get to a point that you feel they're good enough, then they go and they play in the Little League or something like that. They play in the League World Series. But I'm like, what you're doing is you're pretty much farming these kids. You're trying to find the kids who can run fast. You're trying to find the kids who can hit a baseball, who can catch a baseball. And I've seen groups of kids who are 5 years old who couldn't even pick up their parents out of a lineup doing drills. I'm like, you're taking the fun out of the game. I mean, for us, hey, you know what? A tennis ball and an old bat, no gloves. This is first, this is second, this is third, this is home. That was the funnest time that I had playing ball. And I'm not even talking about baseball, I'm talking about soccer and all those other things. But I've noticed that when you give a child, I think when you give a child a ring that's as big as Shaquille O'Neal's.
No, that's too much. Yeah,
you're messing up their brain.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it's a lot like prom proposals.
Yeah.
The bigger, if you're a freshman and you get a prom proposal, great. If you're a senior and you get a prom proposal, it better be better than any junior, sophomore, freshman prom proposal. So what happens when the girl wants to get married? What does the guy have to do to ask her to get married? Does he have to take her out to some place and go?
Paris,
yeah, exactly. Like and we have to film it, because if you didn't film it, she can't post it.
Yeah.
So. You're making this thing for these children, that an expectation of a championship ring. I have one championship ring, and it was my championship ring. I should have worn it today. It was my championship ring from Italy. We were the Italy track champions. Okay, I didn't get a ring when I was in high
school.
Yeah, in track.
What'd you do?
I did pole vault.
No shit.
I was number 3 in Italy.
No shit.
Number 3 in Italy. Yes. Exactly, in Italy. I did a track. Sprint medley relay, 200 meter. I did shot put and discus. And then one year I won. I can tell you the story. Okay, I've always wanted to tell you.
It's that Mexican.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm gonna tell you 2 stories.
Jumping fences, bro.
I'm gonna tell you 2 stories. I'm gonna tell you the story of a friend of mine named John Babel. Okay, a guy I went to high school with. Was living in Italy. John Babel I was a sophomore and he was a freshman. Okay, he wanted to pole vault so bad. He was less coordinated than I was, which was really weird. But I was fast. I was fast, and so John Babel wanted to be a pole vaulter. So my sophomore year, I wanted to break the school record for the pole vault. That was my goal. Well, John Babel wanted to pole vault, so it turned out that I ended up helping him train, learn how to do it. Worked with him. He would come stay at my house when we go on track trips so that he wouldn't miss the bus. Because when you lived in Italy, you traveled to Rome, you traveled to Naples, you traveled to Milan, you traveled all these different places to have track meets. So John had something in him that was, he wanted to win. We were in Rome, okay, and the pole vault event was done, but the pole vault is usually in front of the stadium. He was trying to get 9'6", which is the qualifying height. And he was practicing. I was trying to help him. He was practicing. So all these people have been watching this kid, this little white, lanky kid, try to get this thing. Trying. 2 hours he's trying. Finally, he made it. The entire stadium erupted with applause because they've been watching this kid try to make this height. And I was like, I could hear the applause. I was like, oh my God. And I was like, that is somebody who, I was so proud of him. And then at the end of the year, we had our awards assembly, and my coach said, okay, she said, she called me up because they call everybody up and they give them like a little thing. She goes, okay, and now Ben, and she called me up. She goes, okay, I can't do this without calling up John. It's like, okay. So she called him up too, and she called me up. She goes, okay, Ben wanted to break the school record. He missed it by 3 inches. I'm going to tell you why he missed it by 3 inches. Because the time that he could have been spending learning and working hard, he spent with John. And I am so proud of him. And I was like, well, I was 16 years old. I didn't understand it all, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you what happened at the end of the award ceremony. John's dad came up to me and he hugged me. He goes, I want to tell you, I want to thank you for what you've done for my son. And I was like, and I realized, oh my God, there's power in not thinking about yourself and helping others and making this. And that year there was a coach's award. The coach gave one award it was like an MVP. I got the coach's award. And she said, I'm going to give it to you. Did you guys see the shot putter who ran the hurdles? Yeah. Because if not, the team would do call.
Yeah.
I used to run 3,000 meters, 2 miles. I'm not a long distance runner, but I would run it because my coach would come and go, okay, Ben, you've been in 3 events. You're allowed to be in 4 events. We need you to run the 3,000.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. So she said, so this award is to my I can, I will, I'll try team member, and that's Ben. And I learned so much that year, not even realizing I was learning it. But to have it, I started crying because his dad started crying.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for what you've done to my son. Done for my son. And I've tried to find him. I can't find him. I don't know whatever happened to him. But there's something to be said about putting yourself second. You know,
in that instant, but you weren't even. I mean, you were just trying to help someone.
Yeah,
You
I was just trying to.
You weren't worried about a goal.
Yeah, and honestly, I would have broken the record because I was 3 inches away from it.
I did in track. I did long distance. I think you did. Jose played soccer. Yeah. I did long dissance track and cross country. Fuck yeah!
You were a Mexican that played soccer,
bro.
Oh my God, what a surprise!
Dude, I tried out for the soccer. Look,
all city, all district.
Dude, he was playing soccer, and like me and my boys went.
And
my boys went and tried out for soccer because we were running track when none of us made soccer.
Yeah.
You're too white, Ese.
Bro, we didn't make it. But like,
I couldn't run worth a shit, dude. But I was like, dude, I got foot skills for days.
Dude,
y'all aren't like.
Bro, they be back there like, and those people behind what's that place? The restaurant, Pepe's,
dude.
bro. Pepe's restaurant. All the Mexicans would get out there and play.
Yeah. So it's like when they got off of work, they had these 2 little goals behind Pepe's out in Houghton.
Yeah.
And they'd all go play back there. So I'd pull up around like 11 o'clock when the place closed down.
Off of Highway 80?
Yeah.
Those they'd be out there balling, bro.
Because I wanted to play with I like playing with like older people, you know,
right.
like because I wanted that
right.
work. So I would always just pull up to like the Mexican league, dude. I played like out in there's like a local Mexican league. That shit was wild, dude, because a fight was liable to break out like any fucking second.
Yeah.
And I'm like this 16-year-old kid out there, dude, just Hey, I'm just trying to get, I'm just trying to, I'm
Trying to
here
get
to play for fun.
some rounds in, bro. So what was your max height? I got to tell you something. Why I'm asking. What was your max height in pole vault when you were high school?
Shoot, I think it was about 10'9".
All right, you're about to shit. So my wife was 12 feet.
Nice.
She went to.
I love that women started. I love that.
Dude, she went to. She got a scholarship.
I did it on a training pole.
A
trainer pole, because we ordered one.
Yeah.
My coach ordered 2 poles, a trainer pole and a actual pole. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I ended up having to do all our regionals on a training pole. Okay, which doesn't bend.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when Livorno let us borrow their catapult, their brand new catapult, I was like almost 11 feet. And they're like, "Oh no, you guys can't use the pole for." I'm like, "Damn." So I mean, it was just like a little, but good on your wife.
No,
where'd
she go to college?
She went to she got Mississippi State scholarship.
Nice.
And she was there doing pole vault and cheerleading. But like I just while y'all were talking about it, I had to text her because I was like, "What was your max in pole vaulting?" Because I never break my phone out, but I was like, I need to know this now. But I feel like I tried everything track because I didn't cut it in baseball anymore when I got to the high school level. I tried the soccer thing. I couldn't do that. Football wasn't my thing anymore. And me and a few of my buddies, remember Taylor and Jonathan, those dudes, like we all tracked together. So we put together the first cross country team at my school, and then we also did the long distance. And so I tried to do the running too, I tried to do the fast stuff. I couldn't do it, and so I tried the pole vaulting. And I was okay at it, but dude, I could never get like over like 9 foot. Like I just wasn't great. Like I was scared of heights anyways, and I just didn't like it. But I did really good at it was the 3,000 meter, the 2 mile.
Yeah, 2 mile, 3,000.
Yeah, I did good at that, and I did good at cross country. Man, that's all I was ever good at. And then I got older and got into the working out and the lifting stuff. But dude, I think there's something to be said about high school sports, and I don't think it's ever going to be how it used to be when we were growing up. I just don't think
it was so like it was organic.
There was no,
like I said, like I pulled up to like the back of fucking Pepe's to play soccer, and I was a good soccer player, So if I had that kind of parent, like some of these people are, like they would have never fucking allowed that, They'd be like, "No, my son only plays this,
he only plays this
that
league,
kind of stuff." And I don't know, man. I look at that kind of stuff, and I'm like, how the fuck do y'all have time and money for all this? First of all, because I love my kid. I want him to play sports. I hope he's a good soccer player because everybody in our family is a great soccer player. But if he's not,
Daddy, I want to dance.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, dude, look,
do what you do. But
well, the thing is, like, I feel like I don't know the environment there, but based on the environment everywhere else that I see, I don't think that's there anymore because it's going to be like you can't hurt someone's feelings. You're going to put together some other squad because of this, and that's not what it's for, man. It's like sports should not be inclusive. Like if you're not fucking good, you're not fucking good. Find something else to be good at. Like don't sit there and waste your time being mediocre at this whenever you can find something else you excel at.
But it also shouldn't be ran as like
that again.
A fucking like pro level type thing where kids are like jumping teams.
They're
assembling super teams over here, and it's like.
And they are. That's exactly what they're doing.
When we were little, they just stuck you with like whoever. Like
dude, that's right. They just put us wherever.
Yeah.
I was always number 2.
There would be like 3 or 4 badass dudes, and they're just everyone else was like mediocre.
Or y'all all live here. We're gonna lump y'all together.
Yeah,
type
exactly.
Yeah.
And like with me with my ADHD, I didn't even know what it was called back then, but I always had to be catcher. Well, first of all, I was very good at it.
Yeah.
But secondly, I always had to be constantly in the game. When I played second base, because I played second base and I was really good at it, but I was bored at second base. When I played catcher, every play I'm part of.
I feel like,
and I had to be part of that.
I feel like catchers, like everybody had that, like one homie that just that was it. Like he was the catcher. Like
he was a catcher, and also too one guy had told me this. He goes, you're the catcher, you run the game. Because you really do. You see what everybody else doesn't.
You see everything.
That's right.
You see everything. From that ball hitting the mitt and to every single move on that field. I was great at left field. I played other positions, but for some reason I love being an outfield because I had my zone that I can control, and I knew if that ball was coming there, God forbid I did not fucking catch it because that was my job. And if you missed a fucking ball in the outfield, you're toast, dude. But like that was it. Like there was one game we were playing at Halton High, and the sun's got in my eyes, dude. The way it was an afternoon game, and bro, I fucking missed the ball and. Right in the fucking eye, big black eye, dude. I mean, the sun hit me right.
Yeah,
like, dude, it was
caught you right there.
It was the most embarrassing thing ever. But at the same time, like, I mean, it is what it is.
Did you ever play like softball out here? Like,
no,
I played with the church.
No, dude,
I did. I played with the church.
Let me tell you that.
Dude, that's a whole nother thing right there,
that shit
dude.
there is just as bad,
dude. It's fucking.
Because you got a lot of dudes out there that are like, dude. I'm serious. Like, you got dudes that might have played high school and college ball, right? And they're don't get me wrong, they can slap a fucking.
But you know that's why they only have.
But it's like, dude, like, this is like a church league. Like,
yeah, but they only allow 2 home runs per game.
Right.
So go continue.
So I started playing for a while, and like me and a couple buddies, like we would play, and then it ended up being like teamed up with another couple guys, and I went like we did like travel softball for like a little bit, and that was a whole different piece. And I wasn't like any really good, but I could hit it like I could get on base every time, like clockwork. Like I could hit it over the third baseman like I could just drop it in there, like. I wouldn't hit it to the fence. Don't put me in the field because these dudes, you're talking about these dudes all play college ball and they're hitting rockets out here. I want no part.
Yeah.
But like those dudes too, dude. It's like, bruh, like I got a job, I got a family, I got this, I got that. Well, at the time I didn't have a family, but I'm like, I got a job to go to on Monday. Like I got things going for me. Like this is not my life.
That's
like,
their life.
And you open yourself up to more injury.
Right.
The older you get.
They fucking party too,
dude,
bro.
Yeah.
They fucking party, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
the church leagues.
Especially co-ed.
I'll never forget.
Co-ed.
We did a tournament and it was on base, dude. And it was an all-nighter.
Yeah.
They call it all-nighter, right? So it was like these dudes, like all these dudes, high school ballers. Some dudes played college. Like, these dudes, like, they live the travel softball life, right? Reliving the glory days. We were out on base like 6 a.m., but that didn't stop none of them. They were fucking drinking.
Dude,
and,
they drink, bro. Especially the co-ed's like a big party.
Yeah.
But, like, those dudes, dude, they get fucked up all game, then go out and get fucked up afterwards. And it's just like a weekend. It's just like a weekend thing. That's all they do.
To Dallas, dude. I remember, like, we went to this place in, it's called Big League Dreams out in, like, outside of Dallas. And every softball field resembled like a softball park. So it was just like cool because you're like, oh, I'm on Fenway, and it was like this nice turf. And like I feel like we had to play. We did good in some tournaments and we qualified for it. So it was like cool, There's a bunch of guys you knew that we went to.
Yeah, I already know who. Probably know who it is.
A ragtag group of dudes, right?
Was Epinet in there?
Yeah,
Epinet, dude. That dude balls, bro.
Dude, he lives that shit though.
Dude, he fucking balls.
He's not like serious like those guys, like where he's gonna try to like fight somebody. Right. But he loves that shit, And he's damn good at it.
Yeah.
But it was just like, dude, like, and I would just go honestly because at the time, like, I was a young single guy. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go to fucking Dallas for the weekend and we'll just fuck around all day and then go out at night. Yeah. That's cool. So that's why I would do it.
Dude, 7 Tap should be sponsoring these guys now.
Man,
dude, they drink a lot of beer at those things, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll give
Samples.
them some beer.
But
I
was 16 years old when I did track. When I moved back to Hawaii, I didn't do any sports at all because I wanted to go out for the football team. And I think I've told you this story before. I don't know if I did or not, but I wanted to go out for the football team because in Italy they did not have a trauma unit on base. So you couldn't have baseball and you couldn't have football. So I went from
baseball. Why would baseball have trauma?
Times you bust your yeah. They had soccer.
There's a higher probability of injury in soccer than baseball.
There is, but according to the U.S. military, okay. There's no trauma. First of all, no football, and then no baseball because of torn Achilles tendons and things like that. And so when I moved to Italy, it's like, okay, well, all you can do is either volleyball, which I did volleyball, or you can run track, or you can do wrestling, which I didn't do wrestling, and then you can do basketball, which I didn't do. But I went to when I moved back to Hawaii, I was like, okay, I want to play football now. So I went to this high school, and they had about 2 weeks before school started, they had the training. What was it called before school started? They called it. What was the word that they use for training?
Oh, dude,
y'all know what it is. I don't know what it is.
But
it was basically like before school started, you went and you trained. You had 2 workouts. You had a morning.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know why I can't think of it right now.
But it was football,
training
right?
Camp?
It was like a training camp type thing. Yeah.
But it's
so I went there.
Summer.
I went there because I played fullback when I was in 7th grade. Okay, so I was decent at football. Well, I go there and they're like, okay, well, you need to fill out the paperwork. And this guy hands it to me. He's a big ass Samoan guy. Okay. I'm like, okay, I'll fill it out, and I hand it back to him. And then this coach comes in and goes, he looks at the guy, he goes, what the hell are you doing here? You need to be out on the field. I'm like, he was a player. And I'm like, oh, hell no. No. I'm going to be in the band, okay? I'm going to be in the band. Thank you very much. Because this guy was the rock. This guy was huge, and he was a junior in high school. So I said, no. I'm not going to play football in Hawaii. Because now, you got all these, either. You got all these Samoans and everything's playing.
They live and breathe that shit.
Yeah, we're gigantic. And not only that, I was like, I'd been so out of it for so long. I'm like, nah, I don't even know about it.
Did your kids play any sports?
Okay. My daughters danced.
Mm-hmm.
My son played soccer. I coached him in soccer. He played baseball. I coached him in baseball. He did not like sports. And I'm like, I didn't push him either. I like sports because I needed to get away from my house and my family. Yeah. Okay. He was like, sports okay, Dad, but I really don't want to be a part of it. And I didn't push him. I didn't tell him he had to be. But there was one time, and he knows this story, and I'm going to tell it, and he'll forgive me for saying it. He was not the greatest baseball player in the world because he didn't really get it. And I would try to play catch with him in the backyard, and it would work every now and then, but sometimes I'd hit him in the face with the ball or something. And I think what happens, one time I actually hit him when I was pitching to him, and he kind of got a little bit, gun shy of the ball. But he was playing in a fall ball league, okay? And I went to watch him, and he was playing right field. And he was on the back, and some kid, it was a machine pitch, okay? So some kid hit the ball out into the right field. I'm like, I'm like, oh, crap. And Sage goes like this, literally goes like this, and he caught the ball. And the entire place erupted in freaking cheering because he was like this and he caught the ball. He got the game ball that day and he still has it.
Hell yeah.
But he's like, I'm not about sports. I'm not about that. But here's the deal. He didn't have to be. He wasn't one of those people that relied on scoring points or being the type of person who brought the winning run in. And I'm not saying people who do that are misbalanced, but he's like, I'm cool.
Well, if you look at some of the GOATs, like in sports, like it's not the ones that were pressured to play it. It's not the ones that had people in their family that played. It's the people that were trying to escape from something.
Perfect fucking example. I don't know if y'all watch any basketball at all. I'm a huge basketball guy. I love basketball. The Dallas Mavericks are my shit. Yeah. Texas Longhorns college basketball. I follow it. Like I one of the few people that I know that like I'm diehard basketball. Like I love basketball, right? The Denver Nuggets just won the championship. Their star player, his name's Nikola Jokic, and this dude's from Serbia, I believe, somewhere around there. He's from Serbia. Dude, like literally, like as soon as they won the championship, he won the MVP. He gets to the mic and he was upset. They're like, the guy was like, "Are you ready for the championship parade?" And he's like, "When's the parade?" And they're like, "Probably in like 3 days." He's like, "No, I gotta go home. Like, I got horses, I got stuff." And like
I got a life.
He wanted to go back to like Serbia, and just like he's like, "I don't care." And then like someone like they came out with an article like 2 days later, it's like he lost his MVP trophy. He don't know where he left it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he made a comment about saying like and he said like during the interview he goes, I mean, everybody hates their job. I mean, I don't know anybody that likes their job. And he's like, and if they do, they're lying, you know. And then he was like, well, maybe that's not what I should have said. But you know, it's wild that like someone that talented and you see a lot of those examples. Of course, there's other like variables, like someone like a LeBron James, who's that he was meant to be the fucking GOAT.
But you know what's funny? What's interesting is like you've got people from third world countries. Like okay, to me, and my wife's going to listen to this, so it's fine. To me, the most beautiful woman in the world is Mila Kunis. Okay,
Mila Kunis.
She was in the 70s show. She does stuff.
Yeah.
She's from Russia. Okay, or I think either Russia or Ukraine. Her parents will not allow her to buy a meal for them. She's like, I've tried to buy them meals. I've tried to buy, but they won't do it. And I've talked about it. And my parents are like, yeah, that's right. We don't. They grew up with, their mentality is like so different from, I think, the mentality that we have here as Americans in the fact that she has succeeded. She wants to treat her parents. She wants to spoil her parents, but her parents are like, no, we're good. We're good. Don't worry. We raised you. You go do your thing. We don't need you.
I'll say this. My parents are like that too.
There's immigrant culture.
Like my mom, like if I buy her something for Christmas or something, which I do every Christmas, Mother's Day, she literally every time gets so upset because she's like, you could have spent that money on your kids, not me. Don't do that. And I remember like growing up, like she would tell me, she's like, the day that I don't have to, like, you know, I'd be, you know, high school, college kid, and she was like, when you do grow up and if you are successful, never do anything for me. Please do not ever buy nothing for me. She would always say this. And still to this day.
And that's all you wanted to do.
She's like, that's all I want. The fact to know that you don't need anything is the best gift that, like, and they still to this day, like, if I say, like, on Mother's Day, you know, her birthday, Christmas, like, I want to get her stuff, you know, and she's like, nope, she's so like, and so I have to like sneak it over there.
Does she like experiences though? Like you take her to do something or something like that, or she doesn't want to do that either?
Not really, not even that. I think like if one day like me and my brother said, "Hey, let's go to Mexico, like your hometown," I think that would be like
yeah.
But
I think those things are
right now. I'll be honest, but maybe one day for her, I'll do it.
Yeah, like I think those things are sometimes people just can't say no to that, like an experience. Like they can say no to a material item, like. Yeah. My wife and I don't buy each other anything. It's just like we'll just go on a trip. Yeah, like because you know, like that shit is like you could spend thousands of dollars on some material item just so some woman can show it off to another woman and like. But like fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Like we don't do that shit. It's like no, man. And like I don't want anything either. It's like, bro, we can spend a couple grand. We can have a good fucking time for like 7 days. You know what I'm saying? Like
she's so unmaterialistic, and it's like.
But is it materialism or is it? Is it materialism or is it that the parent feels that the child thinks that the parent can't do it for themselves anymore?
That's different. I mean, that's a whole other different thing.
I don't think that's my parents at all.
Is that have you experienced that? Or?
No, me, no. Like I would call, like when I'd go, when my grandparents were alive, my grandmothers were alive, I'd go to the store, I would call them and go, what do you need? I'm going to the store. What do you need? Oh, mijo, no. Grandma, what do you need? Okay, well, if you're going to, but I would love, every opportunity I had, I would spoil my grandmothers. Yeah. Every opportunity I had. They didn't ask for it, but I forced it. Like, Grandma, no. Please, okay, well, mijo, if you're going to, then I do need this. Okay, well, let me do it for you. Okay, but they knew that I wasn't, but I think it's different when a grandchild does it versus a child, because I was like, this is why I'm here, Grandma. This is why I flew over here. I flew over here to help you, to take care of you. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Oh, like my parents still do shit sometimes. It's like, what the fuck, y'all? Like, why? You know, not in a bad way, but it's like I'll show up and like I show up and there's like all this shit piled up outside the front door, and like I call Mom, I'm like, why'd you do it? She's like, well, I was at Sam's and I figured, you know, I bought waters for y'all. Like, you know, Christian likes this juice, and it's like 2 cases of like apple juice. And it's like, why? Like, we can do this ourselves. Like, we're not, you know. But I think that's just.
I mean, everyone has different values and the way they feel like they need to contribute, whether it be monetarily or time. Yeah. You know, and then some people like have this weird thing to where they're it's almost vindictive, to where they feel like they need to let you know they did something. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and that's just, I think it's just, I think
well, you know what I've gotten into? I've gotten into watching hoarders. I'm going to tell you. It's weird, bro. Okay, it's really, because you talked about like your grandma, you know, when you go to your grandparents' house or your mom's, it's like they got so much shit just like piled up everywhere. That's really good.
We're going to have to run head to head. Oh, shit, I still got some
So try that with that.
Head to head to these two.
Yeah. So, I watch hoarders. I've got HBO Max. I got the new HBO, which I love because it's got all these Discovery channels and all these shows, right? So I get to watch all these shows.
So does Hulu. Do you have Hulu?
I have Hulu too, but I like HBO Max because it has the Anthony Bourdain shows. Yeah. It's got all those shows that I had to be like, I had to get on Discovery Plus if I wanted it, and I didn't want to buy that. So I watch hoarders and shows like, oh, is that so that you can feel better about yourself? And for a while, he was like, yeah, it was. But I went back and I started watching from the very first episode. And today, when you watch hoarders, they talk, you know, they show people pulling stuff out of the house and they show people freaking out and everything. But when you watch the first season, there's a lot more psychological analyzation about it. And I grew up moving every 3 to 4 years, no matter what. We're gone. So guess what? This goes in the trash. You can't keep anything.
You're a hoarder.
So I'm a hoarder. No, but
I didn't know this.
My hoarding is what's the word I'm looking for? Is only in my studio.
But what is it? What do you value? What material items do you value?
I have high school papers.
Oh,
in my
from
in
your
files.
Kids?
In files. No, for me.
From you.
From me that I wrote. Because when my parents, because every 4 or 5 years we'd move. And when we moved from Hawaii, when I stayed in Hawaii, my parents had everything put into storage. So when my parents came to visit us in Italy after I married my wife, they brought me all this stuff that I had stored. I'm like, oh, cool. So I kept it because it brought back memories. But then I thought to myself, okay, when I die, somebody's going to have to go through all this shit, right? Well, Cheryl said, so you watch Hoarders because it makes you feel better about yourself? I said, no. I watch it because I learn about myself.
Okay.
I've learned a lot about myself as a person because my dad used to come into my room and used to take everything out of he would literally pull everything out of the closets, throw it on the floor, everything out of the drawers, throw it on the floor and goes, clean it up. If you don't need it, throw it away. I've had to say goodbye to friends, loved ones, people I grew up with every 4 years because of my dad's occupation. This is why I didn't join the military. Because I was in the military. I grew up in the military. I love the military. Don't get me wrong. I love the military. God bless everybody in the military. But I never had anything that was consistent, continuous throughout my life. Throw that away. You don't need it. But it's my Star Wars poster. You don't need it. Throw it away. That shit's worth $800 today. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. But I never got to keep anything. It was always get rid of it. You don't need it. My grandmother was a hoarder. I didn't know what hoarding was, but her house was stuffed full of stuff. She never threw it away. I don't think necessarily because she was a hoarder, but because they didn't have trash pickup.
Yeah.
They burned all their trash. Okay. So what I learned about myself was that I have certain mental tendencies that make me want to hold on to things because either one, I'm afraid I can't find it again. But I realize what it is, I'm cheap. I don't want to have to buy it again if I need it. And Cheryl's like, well, if you don't know if you're going to need it, why don't you get rid of it? Because I feel it's financially irresponsible for me to throw away something I may have to buy again in the future.
I think I'm the opposite of you because I'll explain this from like our marriage standpoint. Like Leanne will be cleaning or whatever, and she'll be like, you could help me do this, you can help me do that, or and she'll always point back to where she's like, when I first met you, you were so organized, like everything was clean, it was so organized, blah blah blah, and now you're kind of not like that. And the truth of it being is, because I love her and I've adapted to her way, and I'm not saying she's messy by any means, like she's a very clean person, but it's different. The reason that my shit was so organized and clean is because I was very minimal. And sometimes I want to be, when she says that, I want to be like, I would throw this whole fucking house away, because I'm that type of person where it's like, that's questionable. I might need it someday. I might not. It's going in the trash.
I still have a check.
I want to get rid of stuff. I want as less clutter or as less stuff as possible.
I'm the same way.
And that's why, when Leanne says that stuff, sometimes I want to be like, be careful what you wish for, because I will throw 90%.
Well, it's psychological, but if you think about it.
But let me tell you this: I still have. I just recently threw away a $3 check that I bounced when I was 19 years old. I kept it. I kept the check that the bank sent back to me because I said, this is as broke as I've ever been in my life, and I never want to be that way again. So I'm going to keep it so that I know I'll never be that way again.
And then I would keep that.
Yeah, and then recently I said, you know what? Fuck this. I am never going to go back to that again. I don't have to remember that. And what happens is when I look at all these things that I've kept that I think are emotional, they're triggers. They trigger me to remember something that was either bad or a lesson that I learned. Dude, you already learned the lesson. Why are you trying to keep teaching yourself the damn lesson?
After you throw them away, do you ever think about them again?
I just did just now. I did just now.
Yeah, but do you miss them?
I've had those times before. I'm like, oh man, that's a cool shirt, dude. I remember, we were doing this. We went out. I was wearing this shirt or whatever. Or I got this picture on Facebook. I was wearing this, and then I throw it out, and then I'm like, I don't.
Father's Day cards and anniversary cards. Do you keep them or do you throw them away?
I don't keep nothing, bro.
Yeah.
I have
it means nothing to me.
I have an entire file cabinet.
Dude, good on you, bro. Look, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But for me and my wife my wife throws away the kids' fucking drawings and shit. Here's why. We talked about it.
Well,
look,
my wife doesn't. See, that's what I'm saying.
It depends on if it's like or we cycle them in and we throw them away once we get new ones. Here's why. She said her mom was the worst fucking hoarder ever, and she kept everything, and that to the point to where it literally drives her crazy to have anything because she grew up with all that.
So she goes,
and she's completely opposite. So she's like, she'll be like, the kids aren't looking to throw this away. And I'm like, all right, cool, but we'll cycle it back. And I've become that way too, because but here's what I think is interesting about all the psychological shit related to holding on to anything is that you have to find a fine line to what you want to hold on to and what you want to let go. Because if you think about this, like, right, okay, you think about, look, these dishes are clean and they're going to become dirty. And they can stay dirty forever. At some point, you have to clean them again. And it's just like a whole cycle. It's just like your clothes, right? It's like, I don't know if y'all know where I'm going with this, but what I'm getting at is like, you're going to have to do these things no matter what.
Right.
Like, so at what point do you decide, okay, this is one extreme or the other? Like, but everyone like tying to your emotions to a material, a physical item, it happens to all of us because I have a vehicle that I put $20,000 in that was my grandfather's that my memories are tied to that.
Right.
So I can't say shit because I have something that takes up, 12 foot by fucking 6 foot, of the earth, that I'm holding on to. Yeah. But so, I mean, I can't say anything about you holding on to some.
Well, that's very interesting because I have a very, very good friend of mine who's a doctor.
Yeah.
And his wife is a doctor too, and she just died recently. He had called me when I was in Dallas a few months ago when I was at the Fan Days, the expo, the geek, the thing that Sage and I go to.
Yeah.
And he called me and I was like,
Comic-Con.
Yeah, the Comic-Con. And I said, Doctor, I'm not gonna say his name. I was like, he called me. I was like, I didn't recognize the number. He goes, hey, it's Dr. So he goes, I said, I can barely hear you. I'm in Dallas. Can I call you back? He goes, yes, please call me back. So I called him back when I got back, and it turns out his wife passed away. Okay. And I was like, what? She wasn't in the best of health, but she was younger than him. And so I went and saw him the other day, and I said, so what's going to happen? He says, well, he said, an estate company's going to come in and they're going to sell everything in the house. I'm going to take the few things that I need, and that's going to be that. And I thought to myself, holy shit, everything that they've accumulated, and they've got wonderful children. They've got 3 children who are doctors and surgeons. Okay. They're good. And he's moving to Oklahoma to be close to them, but she had passed away unexpectedly. But everything that they had accumulated throughout their life is going to be sold in an estate sale over 2 days. And I thought to myself, oh my God, what am I holding on to? What am I holding on to certain things? Last thing I want is for my children to come into my studio and go, what the hell is this? Just throw it away. Something that I put.
Things, I get it. Things like that are like, they're dear to you. Yeah. And I've had this conversation with my parents because my dad, and as fucked up, this might sound really fucked up. I'm just going to.
Everything we say sounds fucked up.
My dad owns land in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
My mom owns land in Mexico, right? And I've told both of them this. It's like, I hadn't been to Mexico in 6 years. I would love to go back. I would love to go. My grandma's still alive, who, I don't, everybody talks about their grandparents sometimes, but I would see my grandma once a year. That was during Christmas, right? And now it's been like 6 years.
Wow.
Because they live in Mexico. I got cousins. I got family over there. One day I would love to go back. But, again, getting back to where I'm going, like, I've told my parents this is like, when you pass away, right? Do you have plans of going back? Like, I've asked them this. Like, do you have plans of going back to Mexico and, like, making a life there? And they're like, no, we're pretty much set on this, now, they have Zoe and Christian, and my brother's got a little one on the way. So, like, your grandkids are here, your kids are here. Like, they've kind of made peace with the idea that they're never going back. Like, this is where they're at.
Right.
This is their family, right? So they have all this land and stuff there, and I'm like, what are you doing with that? Like, when you die, like, I'm not going there to fucking claim this shit. Like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't mean that in a bad way where, like, I'm being greedy. I mean that, like, sell that shit. Whatever money you get from that, enjoy it now while you're here. Yeah. Because if you think you're leaving us something or if that's, like, a part of, like, or if there's something you're hanging on to, like, it's going to mean nothing. Like, I don't know who.
But then it's hard to tell your parents that what they value, you don't.
Right, exactly.
That's the really...
Well, everyone comes from a different time, and they attach emotions to different things. And it just is what it is.
So what do you value most?
Time.
So if you lost your house in a fire and you lost all that,
I wouldn't give a fuck,
you
dude.
didn't care about. No, what about
anytime? Like my mom would be like, "Your garage is open, the house is unlocked." I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I have insurance.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like I have.
I love that.
I don't
love
even
that
my
you
grand.
can
My,
mentally
my
think like
the
that.
one thing that I value probably more than anything materialistic, like out of everything, is probably that vehicle that I was talking about. My grandfather's vehicle. But at the end of the day, it's got insurance,
Right.
and if it fucking burns down right now, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like I literally don't value anything, and I think it's because I had at one point
That's awesome.
I had all these material items. I was making so much money, and then that all got kind of cut in half, and I changed paths and changed direction. I went to living out of an RV, trying to be minimalistic, got rid of everything I had, and I just realized, dude, none of that means shit to me. It really don't. And so like now I don't like. I really don't. I value time because like time's one thing that we all like. We all
can't
have
buy
the
it.
same. We can't buy it. You can't duplicate it. You can't go back and change things. It's like we have this moment, and we choose how to live in this moment, and then at the same time, like 10 years from now, that moment can never be replicated again. Like it's so unique. This 1 second, right now, can never be duplicated.
Right.
Well, and that's my problem too. Is I hold on to memories.
And that's fine, dude. Like,
but in a sense, it's like I'm a little bit too emotionally attached to certain things because they trigger something for me, you know. And I don't know if it's because through my growing up mentally, you know, having dyslexia and not being able to really understand how my brain works, is that I'm afraid that if I let it go off, I'm going to forget it.
mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is I'll go there and I'll try to clean up stuff. I'm like, I'm going to clean this out. And I'll see it and I go, oh my God. And I remember that. And it's a happy memory. Some of them are not happy memories, but I remember them because they taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
Now, would I have still remembered the lesson if I thrown it away? Probably. But it's like one of those things where I kind of think back and remember it. But I look at people who have lost everything in a fire, all their pictures, all their things. And I think to myself, they don't have a choice. Right. They don't have a choice of what they remember. So what I do is when I go through and I look at things, I go, okay, is this, I think to myself, where do I want to be in my life? Okay, I want to be this, I want to be that. Does this memory contribute to that, or does it hurt it?
What happens when one day you get dementia and you lose those memories? Then where's the value?
I mean, I'll say this.
It's like what? But that's just like the dirty dishes things. They're clean, so if you never wash them, they're never going to get dirty, right? But it's like fuck. Like what do you compartmentalize and what do you prioritize? It's just fucking hard, right?
I'll say this, like from my perspective, like I'm kind of like you, where I don't value, like people always think like, do you value this? Do you value, like I don't give a fuck. Like if my truck catches on fire right now,
I go to the restroom. Sorry,
go for it. Go for it.
If my house catches on fire, like that's cool, right? But I do value money from a certain sense, and it's not the sense that people would think. Like people think like, oh, you're being greedy. You want this, you want that, and it's like I value success and I value money, and I'm aiming for that from the sole perspective that I want to give my family better life experience.
Do you commingle success and money together though, or are they two different things?
They are two different things. Because fuck success, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, like you can sit here and say, man, you've done this. Because if you look at it from the outside perspective, right? Like let's look at it right now. You could say, man, you're a successful person, right?
Yeah. I mean, either one of us could say that,
exactly.
But we still don't have the money we want.
Right. You don't have the, exactly. Like we can sit here and look at each other,
Yeah.
and we can say, hey, man, you're a very successful guy. And I know that professionally, like if we put this shit on paper right now, I'm a very successful person.
Yeah.
The money doesn't equate to that.
But I think
I'm not chasing money. I'll say this, like I don't mean it that way, but I want to be able to provide. Like I wish I did have more, so I could provide my children with better life experiences.
I agree. I think that the only reason I want more money is so I don't have to worry about money.
Exactly.
But then everyone that has more money seems to worry about it. But I feel like I'm in a different mindset than those individuals. Like there's those individuals that have a lot of money that tie everything to that money,
right.
And that's their identity.
And they keep
that's
chasing it, and they keep
that's
chasing
never
it,
going to
and
be
they
my
keep chasing it,
identity.
and
Yeah,
it's
they like what clothes you wear, where you shopping at, what are you doing.
Right.
Like me wanting money just means that I don't want to have to worry about it, but not so much for my children's sake, but more for like just my wife is always worried about it, but not like because we need it. She's just always worried about it. And it, like if I could like relieve that labor, like
exactly.
that from her, and at the same time, always know that all this is taken care of.
Right.
And I don't really, after we die, I don't give a fuck what happens.
Right,
That's kind of where I'm at. Like,
Right.
I'm not trying to leave a legacy because who the fuck knows what's going to happen. Like, we'll try to set these kids up, but if they fuck it up, that's on them. I'm not trying to leave no generational wealth. I'm just not. Like, I'm just trying to, like, get through my life.
No.
And, like,
No, I get that. That's exactly where I'm
Yeah.
at. It's nothing like, hey, I'm just trying to, I want to be rich. It's more of like, if I had a little more money. Like right now, we're trying to find Zoe a car, right? And I'm over here shopping for fucking deals, and it's like,
if I didn't have to, but here's the thing,
and get you what you deserve.
but
baby
here's the
girl.
thing,
Like,
but
I
here's-
No,
it.
get you what I can. What will cost me the less amount of time. Not what she deserves,
Right.
but what costs you the less amount
Because
of time.
here's the thing, like if you get them everything that they want, like then they're not gonna appreciate.
Right.
You got to find a happy medium,
to
right?
an extent, right?
I feel like we talked about the car last time.
Yeah.
We did, but we lost the last episode.
Yeah, we
so
did.
don't.
No, I agree. I think that buy her damn car, bro.
I am. I mean,
But here's the deal. No. Here,
But don't buy her the Mercedes she wants.
No,
Get
I'm
I'm
get
gonna
her
tell you this.
fucking
I'm gonna
Honda
tell you this
Civic.
as a father
Honda
of two
Civic.
daughters. You want to buy her a car whose battery won't die.
exactly.
Who
It's
has
dependable.
AC.
It's dependable.
Yeah, that's dependable because
Good
there comes
gas
a point in time
mileage.
where you're like, because guess who's
It's always gonna be on empty.
guess who's gonna get a call and at 3
Let
o'clock.
me tell you right now, the search ain't easy to find like something within the price range.
No, it's
with
not.
decent miles. Like it's
Well, here's the deal. We're probably gonna be looking for a car for Cheryl soon, and we've got a good Honda Accord that's very. I just put a new radiator in it, and I'm gonna tell you this. I say this, and I'm always the kind of person that I would say looks at things half full versus half empty, because Cheryl's radiator blew while I was in Dallas last time at the Anime Expo, and she said, "My car's overheating." I said, "Stop it! Don't move it. I know exactly what's going on with it." She sent me a picture. So my brother-in-law Lance, who's really good at cars, he came, he looked at it, he goes, "I don't see anything." I said, I'm telling you, it's probably the radiator. Okay, don't run it. So Cheryl didn't get an opportunity to go out on it. But so when I came back, I was like, I actually came back a little bit early, and I was like, yeah, it's a radiator. You can see it. It's cracked. Okay, but to me, it's like, I'm so glad that happened, because the following week, guess what happened? We all lost power. We had that storm that came through that messed everybody up.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had to drive to Texarkana to find gas. And guess whose car I drove in? Cheryl's car. But you know why? Because it gets better gas mileage and it's got a new radiator. Yeah. But I drove there, and I had 7 gallons. I had 7 gallons of tank of extra cans that I put for my generator. But I took her car. But it's a Honda Accord, and it's very reliable, and I know how to work on it, and I know how to take care of it. So I'm very happy for that. But she's gonna have to get a new car here soon. But a car that you can physically go in and work on is, as at least at your daughter's age, that is the best thing. Because my daughter, Lindsay, had Cheryl's 626. She blew the head gasket on it. Okay, but you know why? Because the radiator blew and the head gasket blew. So guess what? They wanted $2,000 for a head gasket. I said, I'll do it. I never put in a head gasket before. Well, guess what? I learned how to put in a head gasket on a Mazda 626. And not only that, I gave my daughter AC again. She started crying when she started her car and AC started. She started crying because she hadn't had AC. So a person needs to understand, look, you don't get my Infiniti QX56 when you start your car, okay? You're going to get a car that sometimes you're going to have to ride with the windows down, because that's the only way you're going to be able to cool it off.
Yeah.
Because you have to let them learn.
Well, they don't know sometimes. Like sometimes I'll get these links, right, and it's a fucking BMW, right? And she's like, it's only $13,000, and it's like, do you realize this car has 200,000 miles on it?
It's a BMW.
And if something fucking goes wrong,
Yeah.
It's going to cost me
we're in court.
$8,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not worth it.
They don't realize this.
But it needs to be,
like,
you're
like-
in the realm of like dude, just go Jeep Grand
I'm going to tell you
Cherokee or
something about
Oh,
children.
I'm looking at Civics and Accord.
There you
That's all
go.
I'm
There you go.
looking
I'm going to tell you
There
something about children. My son had the opportunity to advance in his company. Okay, so he's actually doing stuff for Lamborghini now out of San Francisco.
He wasn't Ferrari.
He wasn't Ferrari.
Okay.
But then it was more of an office type job, and he told me, he said, "Dad," he goes, "this is not me. This is not what I want to do." And I hope, and I say this because I think it's a lesson to everybody. It's not because I'm trying to put my son's business out there, but I told him, I said, Bear, I call him Bear. I said, if it's not what you want to do, don't do it. First of all, he's got plenty of money. He's very smart with his money. I said, you're not doing it for the money. Do it because you want to do it. You know how many people you meet every day who want your job, you know? And so he did that for a couple of days, and then he went back to driving Ferraris every day, delivery. He goes, Dad, I drove my first F8 out to South Lake, and I realized this is what I want to do. I said, then do it. Don't be that person who's like, well, I'm afraid that I don't want to say something because people... No. If it's not what you want to do, don't do it. Okay? So he's going to be going back to do that. And he can be 45, 50 years old, still being support, but he's still driving Ferraris every day.
That's what he wants to do.
All day long.
I think that's a great advice to young people. Is to say, like, dude, do what before you're married, before you have kids, do what makes you happy, right? Because I'll say this from personal experience, and I don't know if y'all can relate to this or maybe not. After a while, you get, like, everything I did when I graduated, like, college was like, good job, make the money. I would take extra call, whatever. Now I'm in a position where I do make good money. Well, now my family's dependent on that money, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I can't go back. Right. And unfortunately, I put myself in that position where it's like, even with my business, where it's like, hey, you know, if you were to quit your job and you go on your business full time, you are taking a pay cut because you can't draw that amount from your business and expect it to continue to be successful, or at least, you know, not put a fucking hindrance on it, right?
Yeah.
And also, I have other people to deal with. I mean, I have business partners that, you know, this is not just my baby, correct? So this is their future also, hopefully. But like, that's my advice to, like, young people. Like, even when young people come to, like, our job, I'm like, what do you think you want to do? Like, fucking go for it. Yeah. And people all the time are like, you know, these travel jobs, they're offering thousands upon thousands, and I'm like, go.
Do it.
Well, you know what? I told my son, I read a book a long time ago called The Millionaire Mind and The Millionaire Next Door. And The Millionaire Next Door and The Millionaire Next Door talk about, there's janitors who are millionaires because they were smart with their money. You can make $100,000 a year, but if you spend $120,000, you're screwed. If you make $50,000 but you only spend $40,000, you're much further ahead. You're much further ahead. And so I taught my children this, taught my daughter this, I taught my son this, because nobody taught it to me. Yeah. And I am not financially but my children are so much more financially set that if I were to die tomorrow, one of my last, if I were to, I wouldn't be worried like, oh my God, can my kid? No, Cheryl and I have raised our kids. They have zero college debt. They got scholarships. All our children started out with zero loans. Then like all this whole loan forgiveness stuff, we don't care about it. Our children don't care about it because they started out debt free. Now, when let's send your children out and they start off debt free, what happens after that, you can't control.
Yeah.
But if you teach them right, and go, okay, here's what you do. Sage is very much like, look, he's very, very, he bought us a $90 dinner, and I hope he forgives me for saying this, but we went out to eat, and he paid for it. And to see your children pay for your meal is, to me, one of the greatest things in the world. You know, and we went.
If you're my mom.
And the thing is, we do not provide our children economic outpatient care. Which, if you read the book Millionaire Mind or Millionaire Next Door, there's a thing called EOC, which is economic outpatient care, which is you still provide money for your children.
Dude,
after
every fucking body I know does that shit, and
that is the worst thing you can do for your children. It drives me
crazy because you're enabling them. Well, there's people I know that have.
That makes sense to what my mom said. She said, the day that I see that you don't need anything from me is the day I know everything's okay.
Succeeded. Yeah. That I raised you right.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I can't stand that I see that and they don't know any better because they've provoked them this entire time.
Right.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, I can't handle this, but they've never been put in the position. The children never been put in the position to have to deal with it, to not have a fallback.
Dude, you know how many motherfuckers I have encountered after I've dug into like stuff and just get to know people that like you look at them and you're like, dude, this guy he's fucking killing it. He's doing great.
So you find out his fucking parents are helping him out.
Daddy's helping him. Mama's helping him. Or there's another one where like these people are literally like, shooting out this invoice to pay for this bill.
Yep.
Like they're literally doing this the whole
Yep.
fucking time.
And you think
Like,
they're killing
They
it.
think they're killing it, and it's like they're dependent on this to make this happen.
Snorlax. What's up with
You
Snorlax?
know Snorlax.
Yeah, bro. I used to do
Awesome.
Pokemon, man. I used to do Pokemon. What's up with it?
I am Snorlax.
Okay.
According to my grandson, I am Snorlax.
You snore?
Every time, bro, like a freaking rhino.
Sleep apnea.
You had a
I have
fucking
sleep.
CPAP, dude?
I did, and then, but here's what happened. I ended up having to.
Y'all
wrap,
talked about this the last
yeah,
episode.
we talked about. I had to wrap my face. I couldn't do it, so I'm gonna go back to a sleep study and do it. But my Butterbean, my grandson, says I'm Snorlax. Every time he sees this Snorlax, he's like, "It's pop up, it's pop up." So for Father's Day, he got me this shirt. My shirt, so I'm like, yes, baby, Butterbean, I am your Snorlax, but I become his Poke bitch because he has a Pokemon account that Cheryl does, and it was on my phone. So when I was out working, I'd be like at Highland and Cheryl would be like, make sure you spin stops. So I'd be spinning stops for Hunter and all this stuff, and I'd be spinning all these stops and doing these things, and I know nothing about Pokemon, but I've ended up learning because of all the stuff they told me. But this child knows what an evolution of this one is to this one and that one, and Cheryl talks to me about Pokemon, and all of a sudden I had this beautiful mind, like all these numbers going on in my head. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking
Kids
about.
are fucking wild, dude.
They
It
are.
surprises you.
It is, and so I've learned stuff. And the other day I said something to Cheryl, and I go, oh my god, I can't believe I just said that. I know exactly what you're talking about. And so, but she ended up getting. We have an extra cell phone, and she ended up getting a hotspot on her cell phone so that she can do that. So because she used to take my cell phone and she used to go out and do poke hunts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if your car breaks down, I don't know about it because you have my phone. So she's done that, and she does that with him, and I'm so blessed that my daughter lets us spend time with him, and I don't see my
How old is he now?
Hunter's 5. My Butterbean is 5.
Crazy. I feel like he was just born.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Crazy,
it feels like
dude.
it,
It's
huh?
crazy.
And then I have a new grandchild, and I don't get to see him as much. But
Shout out to him. What's his name?
his name is Grady Carlton Golden III.
Okay.
Nice.
But I call him Peanut because he looks like a little peanut. She's like Cheryl calls him Peanut. But here's the thing: we don't get to see him as much, but there's a good reason for that. When I was taking flight training, and I flew the plane for the first time, I was scared, and I wanted my flight instructor to give me to hold on to that, for him to say it. After I've been flying for a long time, for a while, I told my flight instructor, I got it. I got the controls. I got the controls. My daughter has the controls now. She has her second child. She doesn't have to rely on Cheryl and me. And personally, it's a heartbreak. But that's only because of us. But to see her blossom and become a mom like Cheryl has been one of the greatest things I've ever experienced. But there's good and bad in it. She's so good, she doesn't need us to help her. Because we've helped her so much become a great mom that we've kind of pushed ourselves out of the equation. Mm-hmm. And it breaks our heart, but in the end game, her being an awesome mom and loving on her children and not needing grandparents to be anything but grandparents is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a culmination of
But
what
personally, it breaks my heart. So you have this, what is more important? Well, it's more important that her and her husband have a family, and this is what they do. And I saw something a while back that's talked about, it was I think a church thing that said, okay, when a man marries his and this is what's funny is because when I married my wife, I left my family. So when my daughter married her husband and they became a family, they had to do what was in their family, not what we always do.
Yeah.
What they want to do. They need to create their own thing, and it's very difficult because you love on these children, these grandchildren so much that you forget that all you are is it's a grandparent. You're not a parent, you're a grandparent. And I've been so blessed, and I told Cheryl, I said, I didn't even realize that I didn't, after we had Sage, it was like, that's it. Because all I wanted was one child. But when Hunter was born and he became, it's like, I love this. I hate it because I'm old and my body is not the same as it was, and I've got all these, I got all these problems with my body because I'm older, and he's got all these little different diseases that he picks up at school, at daycare, and all of a sudden I have the worst strep throat I've ever had in my life. But to see your children become independent is a double-edged sword.